Father's Day is just around the corner, so here is your men's skincare gift guide. My name is Dr. Dustin Portela. I'm a board-certified dermatologist practicing in Boise, Idaho at Treasure Valley Dermatology, and today we're talking all about men's skincare in anticipation for your gift buying needs for Father's Day, which is right around the corner. When you go to the store, the beauty aisles are filled with skincare products, and it can be a little bit intimidating or overwhelming. And so how do you know, just in general, how to pick the right products? And then if you're a guy, you may be hesitant to use some of those products that are there because a lot of the marketing and the bigger market share for companies to go after are skincare products for women. So when it comes to skincare products for men, are the products really that different, and do you need to buy products specifically for men, or can men use any type of product that a woman can use? The real question is there any difference between men's skin and women's skin? Well, here's the answer. Men's skin tends to be a little bit thicker than women's skin, and some research has shown that it may be 10 to even up to 25% thicker, and the reason for that is because of the effect of testosterone and excess androgens that men have in their body versus women. So the skin tends to be a little bit thicker and a little bit more coarse, especially because of facial hair. Now, we also, as men, have more sebaceous glands and a little bit more oil production in those sebaceous glands, and so those are some reasons that there might be some validity towards buying products specifically marketed towards men. Now, women have their own skincare concerns as well, and as a woman goes through her cycle, then they're going to have different skin problems, and so there are some subtle differences between the skincare needs of men and women, but the American Academy of Dermatology has said that the basic steps should apply to both men and women, and that's going to be namely cleansing and using sunscreen and other products that you might want to use, and by and large products that a woman could use, a man could use. And some of the marketing is just hype, and it comes down to, do you like the fragrance? Is the texture okay? And then the marketing behind it is really what kind of drives a lot of that. But there are some differences, and so let's talk about a few of the products that have been sent to me. These are gifted products, but this is not a promoted video in any way. We're going to talk about a lot of different products, and I'm going to give you my recommendations whether I enjoyed the products or not. Now, here's the basic routine that I'm going to go through today. We're going to start with cleansing the skin. Cleansing the skin is the most important step to remove dirt, oil, and impurities from the skin, especially after a day of working. Depending on what your job does, you may get dirtier than other jobs. When it comes to choosing a cleanser, you can choose a cream to foam cleanser, something that foams up and lathers really good. You can choose something that's really gentle and hydrating, and it really becomes, your individual skin type and your preferences with how you like it to feel on the skin. The cleanser that I'm starting with today is by Black Wolf. So as the first step in our routine, we're going to wash our face. I'm using the Black Wolf face wash. This is made and marketed for men. It does use a lot of artificial dye in order to get the color, but I guess there's kind of an appeal to it using something that's black. Their body wash is also black, but we're not going to use that in the shower today. I'm going to use another product, which I'll talk about here. So let's wash our face, and then we'll go shower. So this is the face wash. It's black as you put it on, and I don't get the impression that this is due to charcoal. I don't get the impression that this color is due to like activated charcoal in the product. Fragrance is fine. Let's rinse it off. Now, the Black Wolf cleanser was fun to use. It felt fine on my skin. I didn't think that it was over drying, and the color is a little bit fun to use. So that kind of packaging is really going to appeal to some, but it hasn't become my favorite cleanser by any means. But if it's something that you would enjoy, or you think, somebody for Father's Day would enjoy it, it's a fun line, and they've got some fun marketing behind it. After cleansing the skin, it's time to shave, and there's a few shaving tips that you should keep in mind. In general, you should shave with the grain if you're using a razor to shave, and that will help to avoid razor bumps. If you really struggle with razor bumps, you're going to want to shave with a single blade razor, and the reason is that when you have multiple blades on a razor, it tends to lift the hair and then sequentially cut, and as it gets closer and closer to the surface, that hair can actually fall below the surface of the skin and increase your risk for developing razor bumps. I've got a couple of different razors that I like to use. Today we're using Harry's, and we're using the Harry's shaving cream as well, but my other favorite is by One Blade, and One Blade ships everything to you. They have a great handle that you use a safety blade in, and they even come with the brush where you can really lather it up and apply it on with the brush. Kind of an old school classic type of shave. Let's check it out. Now I'm in need of a shave, and there's two razors that I like using, and today we're going to use the one by Harry's. So this is the Harry's shaving cream, and then just your basic Harry's shaving razor. Nothing too fancy about this. This is it looks like a 5-blade razor. So we're going to get the skin wet, we're going to apply the shaving cream, and then with shaving, the idea to prevent razor bumps is you want to shave with the grain, and then if you need a closer shave, shave across the grain, and then if you're going to do a third pass, you can go against the grain. But going in that order will help to prevent ingrown hairs. You want to go with the grain. And then just to give you guys an idea, this is my 1-blade razor, and it is a safety razor, which means you're going to use safety blades, which you can put in and out. So they're cheap, easy to switch out. I do like that for a safety razor, it has a pivoting head, which makes it really nice to get up in under the curves, like under the chin and everything. So it's got a handle that is really well weighted. It's going to last forever, and then blades are easily replaced. They have several different models. This is the one that they sent me, and comes with a really nice stand that you can set it on. Looks great on your kitchen countertop. So just another option. So I shaved with the Harry's products, but I am going to do my 1-blade Restore Serum kind of as an aftershave. It's not an aftershave lotion, but it's a hyaluronic acid serum, just to kind of put something back on that skin barrier. Now, many companies obviously market their shaving products to men. That's the biggest segment for shaving. So these are just a couple that I picked, but there's a lot available on the market today, and overall a pretty easy gift for Father's Day, if not a little bit boring. Now that I had my face all clean, I'm going to jump in the shower, and I'm going to be using products here by Dr. Squatch. Dr. Squatch is a fun line. Their marketing is great, and certainly they're geared towards men. These are more natural products is how they market themselves. Now, I have my own feelings about natural and clean beauty, and a lot of that is market hype because there's no unified standard behind what constitutes something as being clean beauty. And these are more natural type products. They market themselves as kind of a no harsh chemical type brand, but in my opinion, nobody's really using harsh chemicals unless you're allergic to fragrance or things. You don't really need to avoid that. They do use some natural fragrances in here. So this is a deep sea goat's milk. And it has a nice fragrance to it. I've also used their pine one, and it smells really good in the shower. So we're going to try a new one today. They also have shampoo and conditioner that you can use, or if you're more of a body wash type guy, Black Wolf has a body wash. So just because a product says that it's free of phthalates or parabens or a number of other things doesn't necessarily mean that those things are harmful if they're in your skincare products, especially if they're things you like using. You should feel safe to continue to use them. As we get more information on some of these other things, as research and studies continue to be done, we may find that there could be harm, or we may reinforce the overall belief that we have at this time that those are all safe. They've been on the market a long time. And so that's the beautiful thing about science, is that we can change our minds as new data is presented. After showering and getting all cleaned up, I'm going to use the deodorant by Dr. Squatch. Again, this is an aluminum-free deodorant, which is not a big deal to me, but some people are really into that. Again, I don't think that there's any harm with using an aluminum-based antiperspirant. This is only a deodorant, so it's not necessarily going to stop you from sweating, but it had a nice smell to it. Let's check it out. Definitely a little thicker product, kind of pulls on my hair as I put it on, but we'll give it a try for the day. As far as everything else in the shower, so the Dr. Squatch bar soap was nice to use. I like the scent of it. And there are other products that I've used have been very pleasant. So I think it's a fine line. I'm not necessarily behind all the scare tactics that go along with marketing against other products. I think as products, they can stand on their own without having to put down other products, because I like using many other products, but they've been enjoyable to use also, and I would recommend them. At this point, we're kind of ready for facial skincare. I didn't have a vitamin C serum that was specifically marketed to men. I've talked about vitamin C a lot on my other social channels. You can check out some of that if there's something in particular that you want to use. But as far as products marketed specifically to men, I didn't have one to pull for you in this video. But I did, again, use the 1-blade serum and then sunscreen. Sunscreen is the most important step for any skincare routine for men or for women. Now, the sunscreen that I chose to use for this routine is by Mantle. Mantle makes a clear, transparent sunscreen. It's a gel. It feels great on the skin, and it has a pleasant fragrance to it. This is great for men who especially have facial hair and they don't want something white to gunk up in their beard at all, or for men who shave their head, because you can easily put it all the way up and over the head, and that's really their target demographic. But this is a great sunscreen for men, especially men who don't like to wear sunscreen, because it does not smell bad, it does not feel greasy, It definitely doesn't have that sunscreen odor. It's a very easy one to put on the skin every single day. Now, the most important step, in my opinion, for any skincare routine is going to be the use of sunscreen. So here are two that I would recommend for daily use for guys. The first one is the one that I've used a lot more, and it's by Mantle, M-A-N-T-L. This is the Invisible Daily SPF 30, and this is a transparent gel sunscreen. This is very unique. There's not a lot of gel type sunscreens on the market, and this one is really great for the face, but also for men who shave their head. You can put this all the way and up over the top of the head. Make sure you get your ears and the back of your neck. And this comes at a pretty good size at 3.3 ounces. It's bigger than a lot of other facial sunscreens that are marketed for men or for women. And so you get quite a bit bang for your buck here for a really high quality sunscreen. It also leaves you with a matte finish so that you're not all shiny afterwards. Here we go. So we've got, in my opinion, about a teaspoon of product, and that's enough to cover your face and neck. But this won't leave you with any white cast at all, so it's good for any skin type. The ingredients are reef safe, so you don't have to be concerned about getting in the water at all. It's not a water resistant sunscreen, so it wouldn't be my recommended one to go to the beach, but as a daily wear, it's a great sunscreen. The other sunscreen that I'd recommend for men as a daily wear is by Get Mr. And the alternative that I talked about in the video is the Get Mr. sunscreen. So I've got that here. I didn't have that in my bathroom at the time, but I love this sunscreen. It twists, it pops up, the packaging is great. They call this one the Daily. It is a 30 SPF that protects against UVA and UVB. I like the way that it works, and then it's just a pump. And you're supposed to pump that out and cover your face, your neck, and your ears. Now, I've talked in other videos about sunscreen ingredients, whether you have a chemical or a physical sunscreen, so I wanted to give you options for both of them. The Mantle that we talked about is a chemical sunscreen, but it is reef safe, and it's one that I recommend to my patients and even carry it in my clinic. The Get Mr. Daily sunscreen is a zinc oxide, so it is a physical sunscreen. With the use of zinc, it's not going to have the types of chemicals that some people are worried about. Not necessarily that I'm worried about, however. And the tagline for Get Mr. is pretty fun. Their tagline is every damn day. You should be getting sunscreen on every day. And if you can get your significant other or your dad or somebody to do one thing for their skin, if you can get them to put sunscreen on every single day, that's a win in my book. Now, once again, skincare products don't have to be necessarily for men or for women, but there are some times where it might be fun to have one that's marketed directly to men, and there are subtle differences in the skin to be aware of. However, don't feel obligated to purchase any of these specific products just because I talked about them today. You should pick skincare that fits within your budget and meets your skincare needs. These are just a few options for skincare for men. Now, you shouldn't feel obligated to purchase any of these in particular. Pick skincare that's based on your budget and your particular skincare needs, and have some fun with it. It's fun to try different things, and because these are marketed specifically to men, they have a little bit different feel, and even the color and the fragrance that goes into them just makes it a different experience overall. So those are some things. I hope that it was helpful for you. I hope it was a little bit fun to check those products out. If you have any questions, be sure to drop them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer those for you. And then let me know what other topics you want to hear about. I appreciate you watching the video. Remember to hit that follow button, and I'll see you next time.